Hello, everyone. I'm going to put this on hold and see. Stop video. Okay, for now. I think we're even. This is pretty impressive. Yes, we'll see. Who knows? Shouldn't be doing that, maybe. Seems, yeah, no, it's in there. It's this part,
This
Greg.
this one right here. You need to tighten that one up.
Okay.
And,
See, there's a wobble, and this is clearly
there.
well established in there.
right there.
Okay. Nice. So you need an engineer. Never say you don't. As you do. Hey, Greg, here. You're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
just get these
Get these.
equidistant something.
Yeah.
You like my attempts at a word there?
How high do you want it?
I would say there, because then I can always tip it. Something
that?
around there. I would say that'll be good enough.
Diana, did you videotape or record your jhana?
No, we were not doing any taping at that time.
I'm just thinking of go back.
You would, that would have been fabulous. Would have been good for us too. Since we
is
were
that
on
look
it for a
about right?
year. Yeah, let's try it.
Can you tell whether it's looking in the right direction?
I don't know. Okay, let's see if we can get out of here and go to. Oh, do this we can. Pull it out for a second. The thing I don't really know how to do, because I haven't been studying this, is how to get to video to here. I get, you know, we might be using this because I know they can see me here.
They can.
Yeah.
From there. Okay.
And I don't know how to make this
connect.
go to here. And since I don't see Seth, we're going to abandon
This
previous models. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to get over
there, and I can.
so I can see. I apologize, everyone. These are little moments where you have to know how to steer the ship even when the captain's not here.
So the camera's up there.
Yep.
Probably needs to be more vertical here.
Let's see.
And do you want it closer?
I'm going to say the issue's going to be that it's way low.
It's
So
low.
what I would suggest is maybe we put it on a pillow. Yeah, I think it's gonna.
I think.
Oh, you think that we're gonna be all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah, I think so.
Try
It's a matter of pointing that thing.
I'm gonna do this and sit up. Yeah, if we back it up, Greg, I think we could.
How's that?
Hi, everyone. I'm peering into this. I've scared everyone now. I'm gonna say a C waiting room. I think I'll. Gee shucks. We're gonna have to try to click people in, I think. Let's see how we do. Admit, there we go. Hi, hi, hello. Here we are, trying our best. Let's see. I've got somebody who has they're muting. Let's see, unmute. I think, well, I see people, they're up there. I'm gonna say this is not bad. I have one person without video. I don't know why either. I don't know what I can do about that. Let's see.
They just Did they just block their video and die?
They might have. I can't say. What? I'm going to let it go like this because we have now used up all of my skills.
I think it's pointed in the right.
Fatma, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? You can hear me. This is good. Can you hear me okay? You can hear me okay. I don't see Lisa.
She's delayed a bit.
Okay, so that makes me feel better. It's not me keeping Lisa out. Okay. I think we're going to go with this. Good morning, everyone. And if I have to admit others, here we go. I see the work. All right, good morning. I think I'm going to leave it there for a little bit. We're going to be working on gratitude this morning. And we talked a little bit about gratitude on Saturday. And so could the people who were here, there were a couple here on Saturday, could you say just a word or two about what you understood about gratitude on Saturday that might have been different than your idea about gratitude beforehand? What about gratitude that we talked about on Saturday? Because there's a lot of wisdom in this room. I'd like to use it. What about gratitude did you make contact with? Let me put it a different way.
I think I can say that something I made contact with and something I have, I won't say worked, but I have thought about a lot in the last few years is making contact with the gratitude I feel. You spoke to this, the gratitude for our parents for this precious life. We were just talking about this last night. I think there were years in my life I spent a lot of time sort of rationalizing my behavior or the way I was, things that happened to me, the way I was treated. You know, I had a variety of stories, some more true than others. And what was a wonderful reinforcement for me on Saturday was this idea about being grateful to be here on this earth, the fact that I ever got to be on this earth, and that I owe my parents in all their wonderful ways they were and less wonderful ways they were. I have learned equally from both of them. And so it's something to easily lose sight of, because you can get wrapped up more into the gratitude and fun, happy stuff. But I really thought of many things that had happened that have not necessarily been fun, might have been difficult, but I have really gratitude. I really something about it.
Gratitude for the truth of this precious human life, accorded to few, says the sutta, accorded to few, out of the billions and millions and uncountable beings, not only on this earth, but across all time, all space, to be accorded consciousness, to be accorded the possibilities, right, that we are accorded in this human life is truly precious and rare. And so we talked about that as our essential ground for gratitude. And without that, how easily then we notice things get off kilter, doesn't it? Goes a little cattywampus the minute we go, but I should have, it should be, right? And then beyond the truth of this precious human life, Lisa's saying something else, which is gratitude then for those that have contributed to the reality of this body, this mind, this being, and you have to begin with your parents. Because without them, you couldn't be here. Yeah. Whatever else is true is not most relevant, says the teaching. However else they got it right, they didn't get it right, they messed it up, they didn't say that right thing at the right time, they weren't everything you needed. The reality is that without them and their choosing you, you could not have this capacity for investigating, inquiring into love, into compassion, into kindness and care. It would not be accorded you. You'd be working strictly from that animal brain stem. And it's not that that's not valuable, but it doesn't have the same privileges. We have been given infinite privilege by virtue of this precious human life and the parents who then have contributed. And so then we don't stop there either, do we? We go, and what's all of the things then that contributed to that? What are they? What are all of the things that have then contributed to that, this life? How are you here now? You couldn't name them all, could you? It would be impossible. You would do nothing. So says the suttas again. You would do nothing but be grateful. You would not have time, would you, for anything else? It wouldn't be possible. If you just started going and then grateful for the floor I'm sitting on, and then grateful for the pants I got to put on this morning, and then grateful for the fact that I still have hair and got to mess with it, and grateful, right, for the fact that I had a car and I had a road to get here, and then that there's a building I'm sitting in, and there's all these beautiful people around me to sit with. And then the sutta says there would be time for nothing else but gratitude and joy. Right? But, you got a little but in there, a little tiny but, what's the hindrances? But,
It's a little 7 in the morning.
it's a little cold. I got to get up early.
Causes and conditions.
Causes of every infinite sort. We want to keep it. We don't want that one. We want it some other way. Could we say continually? Would it be fair? Yes. The hindrance mind available every single breath. Go, not quite. If you could just little, just little eyebrow. Not quite. And then we do, I didn't want that illness. I didn't want that death. I didn't want this problem, right? I don't want to just be facetious because we work with difficult things, don't we? Right? I didn't want that aging. I didn't want that. Right? And we can understand the genuine desire to not suffer. We can. It's understandable. And then, of course, the teachings say, so you don't have to suffer. Though there will be pain inherent in this precious human life, inherent, no avoiding, the pain of loss, the pain of grief, the pain of change, the pain of, right, unreliability, the pain of the fact that it's impermanent, right? They say these are essential pains that cannot be avoided. But this is not what we were talking about when we were talking about suffering. We were not talking about those inevitabilities, right? Is anybody here going to get out any of those? Have you figured that out yet? Nobody, right? Nobody. I don't care how much rose oil you put on your face, those lips are going to pucker. No, right? That's the reality. I know, right? I do a little thing. Try to get those straightened out. But is that our problem? Is that really the problem? No. The problem is what then? When you think it has to be like this, a certain way, in order to be in joy, in order to be awake, in order to contribute, in order to participate, in order to, in this human life, whatever the whatevers. And so the teachings say there is no moment, it does not exist, where you, by virtue of your consciousness, cannot be a source for joy and gratitude. There's no moment, it does not exist, where you then cannot be, by your nature, by that precious human life, by the parents that bore you, by the conditions that have contributed to your happiness and ease, where you could not be a source, not just the receiver, but the source for the good. And then there would be no complaint. Could there? There couldn't be. You could say, well, I don't know what else I could do. I could just actually be present then. And in the presence, contribute everything. Really. So I wrote in a blog yesterday. Did anybody, I think we got it out yesterday. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we did. I wrote in this blog about a woman I went to see over the weekend. Did anybody see that? Yeah, she is very, 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 very ill. Very, very ill. And I got invited to go spend a little time with her, which was an amazing privilege and opportunity, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Of the highest order. And I was sitting on her bed with her, and she was asking these same kind of questions, like, what is the good news here? What is the good news here? Right? And I had a list as long as the one I'm asking you to consider. That long, continually. Right? All these things. And she smiled. She smiled and said, that's right, that's right. Right? And so this is why we practice, because that negativity biased brain of ours, that small mind, gets hooked in all those little crevice places, doesn't it? Where I just want what I want and I don't want what I don't want. And it just loops in that little space over and over, forgetting what everything. That's how much we forget everything about the preciousness of this life and each other in it. Right? And so then today we're going to talk about gratitude, that gratitude, not just the gratitude when you get your favorite flavor, gratitude, but the gratitude in every moment and how we can then begin to train and cultivate it for ourselves. And we begin here, then, don't we? Right in this shallow water moment, right when you're safe enough, you're warm enough, right? You're awake enough, you're with others enough that you can go, oh, right, that's right. And then we take it out, don't we, into the rest of our lives, seeing if we can't wake it up there too. Right? Make sense to anybody? Any questions about this before the practice? I wanted to say this first. Let me click some folks in. I'm learning. Hello, good morning, everyone. I apologize. I'm working on learning how to do this. Any questions? You just start feeling pretty ungrateful, don't you? You go like, oops, I missed a couple moments. I missed a couple moments then where I was looking at something I thought I had to have, or a certain way I thought I had to have it, or and then we remember. And we need to hear this, don't we? I need to hear it too, to remember that it is all of these factors that are what is most precious, and everything else is just cherries on top. Right? This is the Sunday, this life. Yes, Vicki?
It's really hard to let go of expectation. I mean, just even if you're an athlete and you expect to be at a certain level of performance, or you're expecting to lose weight because you're eating right, it's not happening. It's all these little things where you're expecting life to be this way, the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the way it was supposed to be. How was that? What way was it supposed to be?
One thing is supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. You're here. You're conscious. You have the capacity to be a contributor and a participant in the beauty of this human life right now. and everything else is some narrated demand, isn't it? It's a demand we place on life.
So when we're making a list of all the things that we have gratitude for, to me, it kind of seems like we're setting a condition, this thing and this thing. And you can list an infinite amount. And so if you could actually list every possible thing and say I'm gratitude for it, now you got it all covered.
Yeah.
But if you're forgetting things or you're skipping things that you don't have gratitude for, as opposed to just gratitude for this precious life and everything that it holds, to me that feels more complete.
It is. And we have to look at everything. We have to touch everything then, because what's our nature? To sweep, to generalize, to go right everything. It's easy to say, isn't it? It's fairly easy to say, I'm grateful for everything. I say that way too often, right before I'm not that grateful for something. I'm grateful for everything. On the one hand, I know it's true. In my own most awakened heart mind, I know it's true. And on the other hand, I'm right? And so the reason we get specific, the reason we get exact is because we run into the truths. One is, yes, I can open, and I am opening to this, and we see its consequence, don't we? Gratitude, joy, ease, well-being. And then I notice the contraction, the resistance, the not wanting, the not liking, the wanting something else, and I can wake up here too. And then I can notice what? The suffering. Can't we? Then I notice the suffering. And I want you to see them. Moment by moment, I want you to see them. Oh, yeah, when I opened, right? And that means to everything, including what? Ingratitude, not liking, right? To everything. That's what it says our job is. Right, I want you to see where you wake up, and I want you to see where you fall into the habit mind of demand, preference, bias, wanting and not wanting, because then you can choose. Then your sovereignty is alive. You get to go, oh, I'm gonna stay in contact here. I'm not gonna shut this down as the habit will invite. I can open, in fact, to the very shutting, and in so doing, be free, be awake, be joyful. You get what I mean when I say this? We open to everything, including not opening.
And it doesn't always feel good. I like read, like I read what you put on Everyday Mind.
Yes.
And it's not easy, and I think that's like you think, okay, the minute we open, now it's going to feel okay. And it just feels the way it feels.
Like you didn't want it that way, or you didn't like it that way. And see, this isn't about pleasant or unpleasant. This is one of our first fantasies in the practice. It certainly was mine, is that I could get out of any distress. I could climb out and only be an abiding ease. And I picked the Zen tradition. Of course, it was perfect because everybody's so about it. No, it's not actually true, right? But it looks like, and then you transcend life. But this is not the teachings. These are not the practices, is it? It is not to transcend. It is to embody. It's to get right in there up close. And that means to everything, including the things you don't like, including the unpleasant, including the things you would have preferred not to be. Right? This is what I think is so beautiful and unique about these traditions, is it says we're not going the other way. We're going right into life. Exactly as it is, this precious moment with whatever's there, pleasant, unpleasant, or both. And it requires, says the teachings then, some training, because our little small mind, our habit mind, our animal capacity does what? Out of here. Not this. Not the day, not the time, not in the mood. I didn't want it. I wanted, right? So this is why the training is so essential for us all. So I think we've got everybody in now. Now that we do, why don't we actually do some practices relating to this cultivating gratitude? I'm going to call out some of those the foundations of gratitude, as we talked about as we began, for those who weren't in at the time. And then we'll add some other practices for investigating, inquiring into gratitude, where it is present, where it is not present after. So is there anybody who would like to read the daily aspiration for us, and then we'll recite our chant? Anybody have that? Thank you.
My or our daily aspiration. May I become at all times, both now and forever, protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with oceans to cross, a bridge for those with rivers to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a benefactor and servant to all in need.
And then making contact with this body and the breath. We're going to recite the chant, but find your breath first. We often go launching into chants without the breath, and this is not most skillful. So find your breath, and then on the next good in-breath, may I be conscious, calm, contented, caring, and compassionate. May I accept all that is arising this present moment. May I honor life and be a contribution. May I live in joy, love, and peace. May you be conscious, calm, contented, caring, and compassionate. May you accept all that is arising this present moment. May you honor life and be a contribution. May you live in joy, love, and peace. May we all be conscious, calm, contented, caring, and compassionate. May we all accept all that is arising this present moment. May we all honor life and be a contribution. May all beings live with joy, love, and peace. And so getting comfortable, finding a comfortable spot. And so we're going to begin, as I sometimes suggest we do, by thinking of someone for whom you would like to dedicate this practice today, for whom you feel gratitude. For whom you feel gratitude. And let whoever comes to mind simply come to mind. Person, a being, maybe a pet, an animal, for whom you feel gratitude. We're going to dedicate this practice to them. May all beings everywhere, without exception, benefit from this practice today. Gratitude for the strike of the bell and hearing. Gratitude for this moment in which we can be awake, alive and present. Gratitude for this precious human life accorded to few. How lucky we are. For this consciousness in which to direct and claim one's life. For the parents who intentioned us and cared for us as best they could. And then for all those other infinite things that have contributed to our ease, our welfare, this very being alive. And we can begin with gratitude for this very body. And then gratitude for this breath. And then placing the attention very directly, intentionally, on awareness of the breath, however you notice it most vividly. Moving in and out of the body. And see if you can begin to turn towards the breath with interest, curiosity, with joy and gratitude. We have the whole of this human life in which to be grateful for, and then we can break it down, as I said before. We can get specific and begin to cultivate gratitude for each breath. Everything that has occurred throughout all time is contributing to this. This one in and out breath. And see if you can invite a gentle, serene smile at the gift of this breath arriving, passing. remembering our base training, remembering to know directly, to know most immediately, to know through sensation, the arising of the in-breath as the in-breath. Actually feeling, sensing, knowing the in-breath as the in-breath, not thinking in. Know it by feel, by touch. Know it by heart. Know it in its beginning, in its middle, and in its end. This is how we know the in-breath and the in, as the in-breath. And for this in-breath, we can be grateful. And the expression of gratitude is that we bring ourselves wholly, completely to it. We offer ourselves to the breath just like the breath is offering itself to you. And we begin by offering our attention, our presence. And in the knowing of the in-breath as the in-breath, seeing its rise, seeing its change, seeing its end, we understand its preciousness. And in this we take delight, are glad and grateful. One more breath in which to be awake, alive, and loving. Let me drink it in. And in the practice of gratitude, once we have placed the attention, we're not looking for a particular emotion. So let's not mistake boundless gratitude, just like boundless joy, as a feeling, but rather as an opening, an inquiry, an arriving and allowing this very act of being present. To just this one in breath. And then see what quality of mind is its result. Nothing else required. Awakening joy and gratitude, simply knowing the in-breath as the in-breath. And then we can extend the practice further by opening to include the out-breath as the out-breath. Feeling the very sensations. Release, the softening, the letting go, the letting be. Knowing the out-breath is the out-breath. Knowing it at its beginning. We can discern the breath in these very subtle ways. Knowing the middle is the middle. Knowing the end is the end. And then knowing the out-breath is the out-breath. We can take delight. Be glad and grateful. No breath the same. Each breath unique, precious. A reflection of this life you are being offered, breath by breath. No struggle, no resistance, nothing else required. The preciousness of this life being accorded to few, being offered to you right here. Grateful for this body that knows how to breathe. Thankful for these lungs breathing. Thankful for the air, for the space. Thankful for sound. Thankful for hearing. Thankful for helpers and the helping. All appearing and disappearing, breath by breath. And then we can extend the gratitude to whatever is arising. We can open beyond the breath, just as we did to sound. Grateful for sounds we like and sounds we don't like. Can we open both to the symphony and the siren? Cultivating gratitude for both. Grateful for sound and the silence from which it comes, and to which it returns. Knowing silence. And then beyond sound, we can open to thoughts, emotions, images, qualities of mind. Grateful for the pleasant thought and grateful for the unpleasant thought. Grateful for the knowing. Grateful for the contracted mind, grateful for the expanded mind, grateful for the mind that knows them both. Grateful for the knowing of everything and our ability to respond, to care, to love, to participate, to belong, to heal, to help, and to be. Grateful then for everything. Any questions about that practice?
Yeah, right at the end, you started talking about the contracted mind, the expanded mind, the mind that knows both. I'm guessing the contracted mind's the monkey brain. Okay. Yeah.
Reactive, fear-based. What else can we say about contracted mind? Gripped, caught, hooked, tight, wanting, not wanting, right? Contracted mind. But what? Not lost there. Because what? We can know it. And in the knowing, the whole point of these teachings, the whole point is to say, once you know it, you can choose. By virtue of discernment alone, you can decide, do I want to feed that? Do I want to propagate that? Is that the direction I want to continue to place one's energies, attention, and resources, or not?
It's amazing how hard that is to do, actually, when faced with that decision to choose the way that is more loving, gentle, and kind, instead of going to the usual, I'm going to go to that because that's how I'm going to work it out.
Yes.
Knowing that that's time's go.
Yes. Habit, nature, the power Cindy's talking about of the habit nature of mind. And we have to give ourselves a little bit of room for recognizing the reality of that, right? The power of the habit nature. Remember, we've talked about this from the neuroscience perspective. We're just rutting grooves all day long as we incline the mind towards the wanting, towards the not wanting. And it has consequences, doesn't it? And the consequence is the very next time you're up against the thing you didn't want or you didn't like or you'd rather not do or you'd rather not have, the truth is the brain will click right on into that habit nature. And then not only into the not wanting, that's just the beginning, but all of the things we can then, the strategies, isn't it? The addictive strategies we all have for how to get out of them. I know what I can do. Right? I can disconnect, head that way, get angry, eat caramel corn, stay busy. We have infinite beautiful strategies, and I just think it's lovely to look at them. I think they're fascinating.
I mean, I could just say, if I just worry about this enough, like I'll just worry myself out of feeling the regret or feeling the whatever.
Yeah.
Because if I do that.
Yeah. If I worry enough, Cindy's saying, worry mind is a powerful one. And it's a habitual one. It's an addict also, right? Isn't it? It feeds on that idea. If I could just ruminate some more, stay on it a little more, solve it, fix it, mush it around, then it will be okay. And eventually, you hope, if you stay present, if you stay awake, you see that worry doesn't actually get anything but more worry. That's its nature. It propagates itself really beautifully, right? Like all of our strategies for being somewhere else, getting somewhere else. They're really, their nature is addictive. And you just have to know that. And then we start naming worry mind with gratitude as worry mind. Like, I see you, this is good, right? Because the minute you see it, you're not quite in the worry mind as much as you are in the seeing, then in the knowing, then in the seeing and the knowing, the responding, seeing, knowing, responding, acting in a way that now can contribute to the end of, for at least this moment. And everybody's just like me, I think, in this. I just wanted to see it once and then have it be gone. Like, yes, now I know anxiety completely. Away with you. That's it. And to some extent, as Mike would say, it is true. It is not the same ever again to that extent, because that one seeing, that one moment did unhook something. And the truth is what? There are a billion other ruts that we keep seeing. That's also true, which is why we stay mindful. We stay aware. We stay awake. We don't just, that's good for me. I have now reached it. We're always reaching it. That is true. And we're reaching it just now is also true, isn't it? Both completely accurate. Only this moment. And yes, only this moment.
Well, and in the inquiry, I think with enough attention, you see it rise and pass too. So
That's
you can
exactly.
you can see worry. But you have to stay connected.
I noticed when I went into thinking after meditating, I stopped breathing. Every time I went into a little story, I stopped breathing.
It's a beautiful thing to know. And so then what would be some possibilities to stay connected to the breathing, which is one of the first teachings. So as long as you're breathing, as John says, it's all good. Everything's possible from there. So what do you know about not gratitude then? Where did you see this? Nah, not really, not quite like that. It's not really what I was hoping for, looking for, wanting. Where did you notice the mind shutting down to the reality of this moment, this life?
Can I ask something?
Yes.
If I see something good, something that I like, I want to take a picture or video of it, and I'm worried about it because I'm asking, can I just enjoy it in the moment? Why do I need to take a memory of it and being able to enjoy it when I look at it or to share with somebody else? I don't know what to do about it. So this has to do something with gratitude, I think, also for the moment. But then, yeah, I'm worried about that. I need to take a picture of it,
Mm-hmm.
and those pictures are good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I like taking pictures, but I feel like maybe it's like a sign of me not being connected in a simple way to the essence of the moment.
Well, it's a beautiful question. It's a beautiful question. And so then what would the practice be in relationship to it, Victor? What could you imagine you could do to stay in that experience of seeing something, recognizing its beauty, staying present to it?
Well, recently I started saying myself, look, if you want to take a picture of it, take a notice this is something good that's happening right now.
Yes,
So at least that
yes.
it's, yeah, you can, through the feeling that you need to pick to grab it, you can also remember that you're seeing something.
Yes, that's right. Right, something really, you placed your attention already, right? You recognize something of its beauty, its interest, you were already there. And so then I would say, as you would stay there for a few breaths, right, just drinking in as Rick Hanson's model for soaking in the good, right, 10 to 20 seconds, really, that we stay present, that we don't come out of the present moment to go grab it with the picture. And that you watch for that habit or that tendency. But it doesn't mean that necessarily that's what you're doing either, does it? If you could really stay and use your own mind as the camera first, right? That's what you're saying. I really see something. And there's no better camera than you as the beginning. And then really, whether you take a picture or you don't take a picture won't become really the point, because you'll already have soaked it in for yourself. And then, well, I like picture taking, I might take a picture. I really, not important. Yes.
I'll just leave it at home.
Oh, the phone.
Yeah, it's your fault. It takes good pictures, you know.
Well, you would leave it at home if, only if what you saw was that you were coming out of the moment to grab a moment with the picture. But there's nothing inherently mindful or not mindful about taking a picture. So we don't want to get confused. It's the mind that's taking the picture. That's the point. Who's taking the picture? Is it the one going, I've got to keep this, I got to have it, I don't want it to go. And so you literally unhook, you become unmindful in the strategy for let me get it, hold it, keep it.
Joy will stay with you.
Right.
I mean, the joy will stay with you. I was on a ski lift recently. I tried to take a picture of my thumb drop, and I had to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
With my son next to me and it's snowing, and that moment has not left me for some time. So I think sometimes if you just let go, the joyful moment will emerge organically and stay with you.
10 to 20 seconds. So now you have it. And whatever else you were to decide to do with it would be just fabulous, right? Who would need to say whether you take it or you don't take it? Or I actually had a little discussion with mindfulness teachers once about this on a retreat, because I actually gave the task of taking pictures mindfully. And someone actually said, I'm not sure you can do that. What? What do you mean you can't take? No, because then you're not in the moment. Well, yes, you are. You're in the moment, mindfully present, taking the picture, because there's no moment, right? But discerning, is it me capturing? Is it me grabbing? Is it me clinging? Is it me trying to hold something that I'm not trusting can actually be held by this heart mind itself? And that's the question no one could answer for you, could they? Well, but you could by being there, right? By being there. And I trust that, really, completely. I trust whether you then take the picture or you don't take the picture. It will be perfect. But breathe it, be it, stay, and then what comes, right, will come.
Diana, don't you feel like it would be somewhat fair to step forward from that? You take the picture, took it mindfully, living in the moment, held that complete awareness of it, enjoyed it, and then somewhere a day later, 2 days, whoever knows how long, icky moment comes up, whatever, he opens his phone and he inclines the mind to that joyful moment.
Yes.
And there is that moment of awareness that when we can reflect on things that feel good, it helps incline the mind back to the present moment, back to those wonderful feelings. So
Yes.
pictures form, again, can also be filled with gratitude and joy in the moment of helping us incline the mind back to the good.
Yes.
They can also
Yeah.
benefit.
I wouldn't want to be dependent on a camera for that, but we could include a camera for that.
Well, my experience, and I'm a horrible photographer, is that
You know,
whatever I saw, the picture is different than what I saw. And, I'm not paying attention to the backgrounds.
oh, you mean like the picture
Telephone
itself?
pole Or,
Uh-huh.
and
Could invite more reflection.
well, what's
More
interesting,
inquiry.
you have the mind that sees it, and then you have this other
Yeah.
device that
Yeah.
pixelates and
Yeah.
captures light things,
Yeah.
and they're not the same.
Yeah, as your eyes.
If you're a really good photographer, you probably get much closer to the things that you were actually looking at versus,
And so how does this apply to gratitude? What's the truth of this? It isn't about the picture or the not picture, is it? Really, we don't want to get lost. It is not. What is it about? Wakeful, attentive, present, responding, right? Then you take the picture or you don't take the picture. And really both, right? It's so says the sutta, both and neither are sufficient, aren't they? So now we can't go, well, because now if we take a picture, we get a whole different view. We got to have a camera everywhere because, right? No, it's not true. You have this view and this is the base view. You start here. And then from this, I trust that from that attending, am I feeling an impulse? Am I feeling a grip? Am I feeling like if I could only get a shot of this, it'd be better, right? Then I might watch that. going, you know, because you cannot capture an entire life. And yes, right. So in my family, my grandfather had one of the first, there were these big sets of lights on this thing. I mean, literally could barely hold it up. We would have to stop Christmas dinner and gather around, and he hated the way, right, everybody would line up, so he'd have to reline. It was 45 minutes later, right, and you were just aggravated about the whole thing. It was not pleasant, or right, and then you have to smile, and you ought to smile at a certain time, and right, so right, to capture the moment can completely remove you from the moment if the need, if the grasping, right, if the gotta's in it. I just say watch it. Just say watch it.
Well, in the moment when you're being aggravated about the lineup and how long
Yes.
it's taking, you know, and then, you know, next year you pull out the photo and you say, wow, isn't that a great family photo?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Thank goodness we did that.
That
Yeah.
makes me feel so good.
Yeah, I think he did that. I think he did that. And of course, we still have them now. And that has a certain loveliness to it. But remember, beyond conditions, watching the quality of mind, watching where the gotta get it, gotta have it, gotta keep it is, because what's the bigger truth? Picture or no picture? The truth is this present moment, arising and passing. Right, that's it. This present moment, precious, precious in its arising and passing.
We used to have this thing called film.
Yes, that thing
It was
called film.
limited, you know, you had 24 shots or something like that.
Yes.
But now, I mean,
Yes,
I get in a way what Victor's saying, because you can be, it's just too easy, right? So you can spend a lot of time just trying to do
well, it could be
this.
continuous.
Yeah, it can be continuous.
And you just go delete, delete, delete. I don't like any of these.
Yeah. and so it can be, for me, it's like a relationship to that. It's sort of an artistic thing. So it's something that I can,
Yes.
you know, be in it, and it's obviously different than the reality of whatever it is I'm taking a picture of.
Different
There's,
reality.
you know, you can see the beauty in it.
Sometimes you see something new in the picture, it's not okay.
That's right. Yeah. Good. See, good, bad. No, you're not going to hear me say. I'm going to say, I'm interested in the quality of mind. I'm interested in the who and the what is in taking the picture, and what you think you need there. There's no inherent wrongness in picture taking at all. I'm not saying that, right? And neither am I saying that your job is to go out and try to capture pictures of everything, because it's not necessary, because there is this body, mind, being here that's also doing exactly that. The attention itself is doing that. And Rick Hansen says, just stay a moment, take a few breaths, breathe it in, let it soak into the whole body being, not just the eye door, not just the, right, not just the eye door, this whole mechanism. And there's no better camera. There's no better. And then whatever, you take a picture, you don't take a picture, right? It's not a problem. Did anybody look at the notes yet for the class? Did you see anything there for those people who looked at the notes? Because what I want to talk about now are the practices that we can invite for cultivating gratitude, not only on the cushion, we have these kinds of practices, but then actually in our everyday life. How do we remember to wake up with gratitude? So did anybody see any in there that, and then I'll name some. Anybody see one that they went, oh yeah, you could maybe take a picture.
Yeah, I'm grateful at least for the mechanism that in me. That
Yeah.
when I take a picture, I need to associate it. Okay, you need to look at it. And
Yes, that's right.
Can be grateful for
Yes,
having that moment.
that you saw a moment or recognized a moment as being worthy in some way, right? We could be grateful for that. Whether you have the camera then or you don't, or you take the picture or you don't. Couldn't you say this is a moment and I am awake to it. And you could take the picture with your mind and then open the heart to that. And then whether you, again, take the picture or not, you're still opening to gratitude then. There was a gratitude letter. I'm going to actually ask that we do that all next week, not this week. We're just going to practice gratitude first. But the gratitude letter is something that Seligman wrote in about happiness. He said the most profound experience of gratitude that he's been able to cultivate in his positive psychology course is the writing of a letter of gratitude to someone. And we're going to do that, but we're going to save that for together next week. We're not going to do that this week. But I want you to know, I want you to be thinking about it a little bit, because the letter of gratitude and then the actual delivering of the letter.
It seems to me that, I mean, it'd be really easy to pick someone who you're really close to and everything is just hunky-dory and the gratitude's just there. You pick someone who doesn't immediately click gratitude and check into that one and see how much gratitude you can get out of that one.
Generate, right? Yeah, they're all relevant. The easy gratitude and the cultivated gratitude are all important to gratitude. So you'll be able to think about that this week. So what else could we do? Now, remember, we're going to start with Rick Hanson, soaking in the good. You have to do that, right? Because if you cannot pause, if you cannot hold attention for a moment and breathe it in, you cannot know gratitude. This is where mindfulness and gratitude are essentially bound. If you cannot place attention, where the attention goes, it says there all love arises, right? And so you cannot have gratitude for a thing you didn't see, a thing you didn't recognize, a thing you didn't, right, perceive would be impossible, wouldn't it? So mindfulness is required. So we're going to require a pause somewhere, right? We're going to require kind of opening. The eye door might be one, ear door might be another, the whole mind-body sense might be another, and actually express gratitude. Not
That
just
could be a person or could it be another?
can be the beautiful sky, right? Expressions of gratitude. What might you imagine an expression of gratitude might be? An expression of gratitude. This is how we know we cement gratitude. Not just the experiencing, but then the expressing, then the acting. What might you be able to do? So you saw the sky, you went, oh my God, the gorgeous sky. You might smile. Well,
I would say it would be good to speak it,
yes, it would, Victor.
not just think. Because
Yes, it would. Because the neuroscience says that which we speak grows stronger. That which we speak. I am grateful for this beautiful sky.
you have to mobilize your mind
Yes,
and not just gloss over.
I am grateful, you would say, for this. And you would name it, wouldn't you? What better practice could there be then? You couldn't, right? You'd place the mind, you'd open, you'd experience the gratitude, and then you would name it. You would name it. I am grateful for this. Yeah. So easy, right? Easier when we like the sky, we like the blue, right? Clear. Let's talk about what we can do then when we run smack into it's raining again. I still can't get my husband yesterday called me. Sorry, story. Yeah, poor Al. The guy gets, yeah. So he's, I can't put the floor in because we can't get the roof on because we get the raining days. You need 3 at least dry days, and the roofer's still not here, and I can't do anything because I can't. Now this is everyone's mind, right? This is everyone's mind. So what can you do right there?
Be grateful that you know enough not to try to put the flooring down when it's going to rain because you just have to pull it back up.
Then you don't have, right? What else? I am grateful for, right then, what are you grateful for? Mike says the skill, the knowing, the experience that says, I know enough not to do the floor till we get that other thing straightened out. By the way, that would not be me. I'd have done that floor last week.
3 or 4 times.
Exactly. Exactly right. Learning the whole while. I could be grateful for that. He could be grateful for the experience he has, the knowing he has, the privilege.
How about the fact that we're just having more rain, which is just wonderful.
That's right. You could be grateful for the rain itself and the beautiful result.
Grateful for the opportunity to practice patience.
Yes. Grateful for the opportunity. Yes. Right. So you're going to notice, oh, beautiful sky, easy. Wow. A gorgeous meal prepared, lovely. Friends, oh boy. And you're going to notice as much this week. I really want you to pay attention to where that doesn't happen. And I want you to see if you can invite it. Can I stop, pause, breathe it in, and what? Find this moment, this very one, grateful, joyful, and speak it.
You know, it takes some inquiry, right? Because we were talking about this yesterday too. Yesterday I went for a walk with my husband. And but I haven't been able to go for a walk with my husband on a weekday for a million years. I started walking on the path and it's so muddy. Shoes are like getting stuck in the mud, and I started saying out loud, I'm grateful for the mud. I'm grateful for the mud. He's like, you're very sarcastic. Just for that. You know, it took me a little while for the mud to be really grateful for the mud.
Yeah.
And it's something really simple. The first piece of grateful I felt was I started noticing, don't laugh. My feet squishing on the mud. And I thought, I feel like this little kid playing in the rain. But that was the first unlock I got out of it. Because otherwise, the shoes are getting wet, and I'm going to slip, I'm going to fall. And it was really interesting. I had to breathe and soak in the mud.
Yes.
In order to go, it's actually kind of fun.
Yes.
And I would never normally be doing this.
Yes.
So I am.
Yes. How do we open in gratitude to each moment? We're going to notice moments that I'll call of a naturally arising gratitude, right? Just that comes because you're alive. And then I want you to work for cultivated gratitude. They're both beautiful teachings and beautiful practices. And then the cultivated gratitude is right in the moment of not this, not liking, not, I want you to stop, I want you to breathe that in, and I want you to see if you can cultivate gratitude, because it is only the habit nature of mind that has shut you out, and it has shut you out. You are no longer present in this moment. Open the door, breathe, see if you can't abide, and find what is here. What is here? I had to do it in that moment with this ill woman, right? I had to do it. I had to sit there and just breathe, and I saw the kitties, and I thought, oh my God, look at these beautiful little kittens who just completely adore her. And I saw her smiling at them, and I thought, even in the midst of this, right, love abides. And family coming in to hold her hand and tell her how much they love her, right? Grateful. Right in this moment. And this is our work, because the inclination of the brainstemmed mind is otherwise, isn't it? And you don't want that result. You don't want the result of that. You don't want the habit mind that is just going to go what isn't happening in this moment. You want the one that opens as completely as we can, don't you, to what is happening. The beauty that is alive, right? And the teaching says if you cannot see all that is here, you cannot be skillful and you cannot be happy, right? If you cannot see all that is here, it doesn't mean illness isn't there, by the way. It's not true. We don't lie. We don't go, let's just not look. We say, and with this, and right here. This too.
yesterday I was driving between my facilities, and in where I'm at in my life, sometimes I'm getting those sensations that we don't have control over. People, places, things, and this overwhelming feeling came over me of all my own inner fears and whatever. And I felt myself kind of start to run with that for a moment, and then I said, "Wow, Colleen, this is a really amazing opportunity for you to go, there it is, there I see it. Where do I feel it? There it is. And let's take a moment to incline the mind a little bit to, that is true, that may be true, that may be something I can't control, that may be what's allowing me to feel this way. But there's this beautiful day out, and all these people are walking and running, and I am in my car with the ability to have this time to drive back and forth to my facilities and be a part of this and go walk in the doors of somewhere of all these people I get to work with and be with." And it was just that shift. It was that moment of choosing the gratitude,
Yes.
shifting out of it
Yes.
in the uncomfortable feeling, and
Yep.
still being able to go, I am uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful moment for me to be here, alive on this planet.
Each one. We're going to look. James Barras suggests another, which is rather than saying I have to, this is a very common Western myth, I have to, could you say I get to or I choose to, which I really like. I get to or I choose to. And that you really look at these ways we take life and make it the demand with the have to statements. And can we begin by actually adjusting that language and seeing as we catch the language, how we can adjust to the privilege of, the opportunity to, which is both Colleen and Lisa are saying the same thing, right? And then I woke up. How lucky am I to be in the mud? How lucky am I to have to go visit the facilities and have the privilege of all the conditions to do so? How, right? Can we see, sense, know, and then express? This is a little bit where the work is. Why? The mind that inclines, that does not express itself, Victor said, will be less likely to repeat, to hold, to find its way again. And so we place language as a beautiful frame around it. The knowing is even deeper. It's now embedded slightly more, and it will be of service to us to make the statement. So wouldn't it be possible then to say thank you every single time you talk to anybody about just about anything? Yes, it would. And I've actually noticed that I've been saying it more. I'm saying it more, a little naturally, just by the noticing. And this is a part of the practice. But we don't want to limit it to people. I don't want to limit it to people. I think that's you're going to short shrift yourself if we just go to people, because there's everything every moment, right? This fabulous double cushion I have, as well as the ankle that's hurting right now, giving me signals about what it needs.
It's not people, it's you.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter where your attention is, it's you who are placing the attention.
It is
And
you.
Again, you place your attention on a particular person or object, and you have no idea what's going on with that particular object or person, and yet you can feel this gratitude of being aware of whatever. But it's not them that are doing something to you.
No.
It's just you being
Opening to the
or
truth.
whatever.
Opening to the truth. So we get the idea. There's a lot of other practices in the notes. You can pick them as they make sense to you, but I'd like us all to practice together in the two. One, the soaking in the good, right? That 10 to 20 seconds. And then also stopping when we notice the reactivity and see if we can open once again in gratitude to what is actually arising here. At the minimum, it is the knowing, right? At the minimum, You've
That's the
got,
maximum. If you don't notice,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter,
at the
right?
minimum, knowing pain is pain. Beautiful. Can we be grateful for this? And the answer is yes, because then we can respond. Okay, so that one, soaking in the good. 1, 2, pausing, even in moments of reactivity where we go, not this one, not like this, or right, you're going to feel it in the body, mind, or the face. This is where I catch it all because I get a little smirky. Oh, interesting. And then beyond that, turning the language of have to into get to, choose to, privilege. Right? How do I do that? And that you make language once again from that. Language it. Do not just think it. Language it. Say it out loud, Victor said. Say it out loud. Yes.
Every morning before I go to work, I leave my cat, just sitting there early, and I go, I get to go to work, Betty. I start my day, it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
kind of, but I
No.
start my day telling him
Yes.
what I get to do,
Yes.
and I walk. So
It'd be
yes.
fabulous if we were all starting our days with that gratitude. I get to breathe here this day. I get to be a part of this precious human life this day. Whatever else it is, you can contribute to it. All right, can we do our ending dedication? We're going to try to keep the practices simple, doable, and look, though, because there's many others you might find enjoy. We're going to work on gratitude letter next week, finding your breath in the body. Enjoying it. And then on another, take a good in-breath. May this joyful heart, precious and sublime, arise where it has not yet come to be. And where it is arisen, may it never diminish, but grow and flourish evermore and more. May this joyful heart, precious and sublime, arise where it has not yet come to be. And where it is arisen, may it never diminish, but grow and flourish evermore and more. May this joyful heart, precious and sublime, arise where it has not yet come to be. And where it is arisen, may it never diminish, but grow and flourish evermore and more. Calling that special one to mind, the one to whom you are dedicating this practice today. May all merits, all blessings, all benefits of this practice expand and include this special one. And then continue to move in all directions throughout all time, touching all beings and all things. May we all be happy and have the causes for happiness. May we all be free from suffering and have the causes for its end. May we have ease and well-being in this day. May we open the awakened heart mind to the joy and gratitude that is present this moment. May our practice today contribute.